You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Good morning, kids. So nice to have you out there listening. I hope you enjoy my stories. Tell your friends about me so they can listen too. Because if you enjoy them, they might enjoy them also. Okay? And today's story has a funny name. It's Emily falls out of bed when she finds she has ants in her pants. Okay? Isn't that funny? Well, here's how the story starts. One Saturday morning, 8-year-old Emily, well, it's actually Saturday afternoon, decided to help her dad, who was removing a pile of lumber from behind the garage. A bunch of boards been stacked up there a couple of years, and they had gotten wet and sort of rotted. And this is a perfect place for the carpenter ant to live. A carpenter ant is a large ant. I'm going to show you a picture of what carpenter ants look like. Can you say the word carpenter? Carpenters build our homes. They're the men who cut and nail and measure the boards to make your house and make the floors, the joists, put the roof on, put the windows in. Those are called carpenters. Well, carpenter ants don't do that. Sometimes they'll eat part of your house and weaken some boards. You have to replace them. You have to get rid of the ants. You have to call a Terminix person or somebody who deals with bugs to get rid of them. They're hard to get rid of. Anyway, these ants had taken up residence in these rotten boards, and they were making tunnels in them. They ate holes. They'll even go on old tree stumps. You see a tree stump, you look at a bunch of holes. Those holes are put there by carpenter ants. They love to chew wood, and it gives them protection. They go down there, the tunnels, they hide there, and I think they do eat some of the wood, the cellulose in the wood, but they eat other stuff also. Now, carpenter ants can bite, but they normally don't bite you unless you disturb them. If you took your finger and messed around with their nest, they'd probably bite you pretty bad because they have big mandibles. Mandibles are your jaws right here, these big jaw bones. They have huge mandibles, and they can take a bite and make a real sharp pinch on your skin. So you don't want to play with them too much. And but they're interesting to observe. So this is what, every time Emily's father picked up a board and handed it to her to put in the trash can, she saw some black ants on the boards. And she'd look at them, and a few of them got on her arms, and she brushed them off, no problem. And the more boards they removed, the more ants there were. They got deep in the middle of the pile, and there were hundreds and hundreds of ants everywhere. She was amazed. She had sort of a creepy feeling, though, seeing all these ants, but she put the boards in with all the ants on and brushed any ants off her hands that bothered her. And so finally, her dad goes, "Wow, look at this." Guess what he saw? He saw some eggs. And I'll show you what they look like. These little things here, these white things, that Emily said, "Dad, they look like Rice Krispies." They do a little bit larger though. These little sacks here, these are called eggs. Inside there's a baby ant. And when he hatches out, he drinks the juice up inside of here, and he becomes a real little small carpenter ant. And of course, the queen ant and the others have to take care of them, make sure they grow up healthy and part of the colony. Ants live in large colonies. Anyway, I want you to see that picture of the eggs. See the difference? Egg and ant. Carpenter ants they do a good deal because they get rid of a lot of rotten wood in the forests and fields. And sometimes though they get in your house and destroy certain parts of your home. You have to call in a bug or animal person to get rid of them for you. Well, anyway, they kept doing this, and finally, after a while, They got all the boards pulled out and put in the barrel, and her dad started hauling the trash can to the garage area where they store their trash. And Emilie kept looking down at the ground where the boards were, and she saw all these holes in the ground. And she saw a few black ants still there. They were straggler ants looking for more eggs, but there were no more eggs to be found because each ant takes an egg and carries it to safety somewhere else. And pretty soon, in a few minutes' time, there were no more ants. Even though there were hundreds at first, there were no eggs left in a few minutes' time. But she kept looking at those holes, and then finally she thought, wow, they come up through the ground and they get in the wood and they live there and they like the moisture, wet wood, and they would stay there for a long, long time. But today, her dad and her disrupted their colony by moving the pile of wood. So they had to find some other place to go, and they did. They ran off. But some of them had fallen on Emilie's dark blue shorts. And they at first were on the outside of her shorts. And then some of them crawled inside, and she felt an itch, and she scratched the itch a little bit. And then she felt something crawling inside her pants. And she got up and ran, thought, I got ants in my pants. She started screaming, help, help. And her mother came running out. What's the matter, honey? She says, I got ants in my pants. And her mother laid her down, helped her take her pants off, and shook them all out and checked her. She had no more ants on her. But I'll tell you what, she was really freaking out for a while. She felt yucky having ants in her pants. Well, they had supper that night, and after supper, after playing a few games and stuff and reading some books, Emilie went to bed. And she felt so tired, she slept like a rock. That means she just didn't even move hardly. But during the night, she saw ants crawling up her legs by the hundreds. Her legs were covered. And she went like this and tried to brush them off, and they came on her arms and hands, and she couldn't get them off. They were clinging everywhere. And she was rolling back and forth in bed, rolling back and forth, and pretty soon, whoop, she rolled out on the floor. And she woke up. It had been a dream, a bad dream, called a nightmare. And she said, oh, I'm so glad it's just a bad dream. And she crawled back in bed. Nobody heard her fall out of bed. She crawled back in bed and went to sleep until morning. In the morning, she told her mom and dad about the nightmare she had about the ants. And her mom said, I can see why. All those ants you hauled away the other day, she said, they probably came in your mind, and that's what happens sometimes. Well, Emilie enjoyed helping her mom and dad around the house, and most children do. And if you do help your mom and dad, you will benefit in a lot of ways. One, you will feel good about yourself because you helped your mom and dad. Secondly, you learn something while you're working and helping. And if you learn something, you have it for a lifetime. If you help your dad paint something, you know how to paint, you can always paint again. If you help your dad dig the garden, you know how to dig up the garden. How to help your mom can some pickles. Or anything you do around the house. It has its own reward. In fact, the Bible says in Proverbs, work has its own rewards. And it does. People who work are happier. People who don't work are not happy. They feel useless. And if you don't want to feel useless, pitch in to work around your home, and you'll feel like part of the family. You're helping out, and you have a good feeling inside. Plus, you're becoming knowledgeable about many things. You're getting skills and learning things that many kids don't learn because they don't work. So if you want to be a smart person, know a lot, and feel good about yourself and enjoy life, work and help your folks, okay? Work is wonderful. So I hope you'll do that, and I hope you enjoy my story, and tell your friends about me so they can enjoy them too. Until next time, Papa Charlie the Storyteller says, Goodbye.